Hello everyone, Charles Watts here. Welcome back to Inside Arsenal. It is Sunday evening. Arsenal are back on top of the league and they have won a league game at Old Trafford. Only the second time in 16 or 17 years they have done that. It wasn't pretty. In fact, it was damn right excruciating at times to watch, but they have got the win that they went to Manchester for 1-0 thanks to Leandro Trossard's goal. As you can see, I wasn't at Old Trafford today. I'm sitting here in my dad's house, been watching the game with him. And yeah, that was brutal, wasn't it? It was another one of those games, like pretty much every single one at the moment, where I'm getting these alerts on my phone about my heart rate during the second half, because it was not a classic Arsenal performance by any means. In fact, it was a pretty disappointing Arsenal performance in many ways, but it was all about the win today. And they were under huge pressure. Yes, it was against the Manchester United side, who are not very good, who were missing a lot of players, but strip all that away and Arsenal were under immense pressure. It was a game they simply had to win. Anything else, and it was pretty much game over in terms of the title hopes. And there's a lot of pressure riding on that. And for all their faults, Manchester United at Old Trafford can still be a difficult side to face. Just ask Liverpool this season, Tottenham this season. You know, they've got results at Old Trafford. They're always a hard team to beat. So it was just about winning. And you could see what it meant to the players at the end. You could see what it meant to the away fans at the end. A lot of those away fans will never have seen Arsenal win in the league at Old Trafford, because the only times it's happened in the last 16, 17 years, it was behind closed doors during COVID time, and Aubameyang scored that penalty. And the scenes at the end, tipping it down rain, you could see what it meant and how important it was, because it all goes to the final day now. You know, any slip up today, and that's pretty much out the window, because you know Manchester City would have gone and got the job done and won that had the league title wrapped up on Tuesday evening. But now City have that pressure on them. Yes, it's unlikely, but they do have that pressure back on them. They know any slip up on Tuesday night, and that will put Arsenal in the driving seat going into that final day. And I can't even let myself think about what that final day is going to be like right now. I've got about, 7 days to prepare myself for that. I was there in '99 at Highbury, that day against Aston Villa, when it went to the final day and things didn't go Arsenal's way on that occasion, with Tottenham not getting anything. It's always Tottenham, isn't it? Not getting anything at Manchester United. And that meant that Arsenal's win at Aston Villa didn't matter in terms of the title. I remember it very well. And it was a stressful experience then. And it's going to be a stressful experience on Sunday. But at least it is going to be a stressful experience, because, you know, anything went wrong today and that would have, you know, next week would have been irrelevant. And so, yeah, it was a really difficult game, I think, mentally for the players, knowing that, and I think that affected them, certainly performance-wise. It wasn't great. It wasn't great from the start, and it carried on. There was just very little tempo. I was surprised at how Arsenal played. They were sort of sat off Man United. They let them have the ball, maybe because they knew, and they were very confident that Manchester United weren't going to be able to hurt them. So they sat off. They gave them time. They allowed them to play on the ball. There was none of that sort of Arsenal, you know, the high press that we've seen from Arsenal that, you know, they're so good at. It's such a key part of their game. There was just none of that really from Arsenal today. It was just very slow, no real tempo to it, and it was just a frustrating game to watch at times. But, you know, they got the goal that they needed, and it was such a crucial goal in that first half. It came out of nothing, really. I mean, it was so bad from Casemiro, proper comic book defending from such an experienced player. Yes, he's a midfielder, not a centre-back, but even so, I mean, it's just basics, isn't it, to get out and not play players offside. And he just ambled back and allowed Kai Havertz to be onside down the right. But fair play to Kai Havertz. He took full advantage, and he said afterwards in his post-match interview that he saw that Casemiro was sitting on the sort of 6-yard box. So that allowed him to drift over to where he drifted over to, and he knew that he wasn't going to be offside. And that, obviously, the ball got worked down the right. It got to Havertz and then got into the box, picked a lovely cross, and there was that man again, Leandro Trossard, coming up clutch for Arsenal, as he has done so many times in the last couple of months in this title running, with the goal. 1-0. You thought at that point, right, they're going to kick on from this, because it hadn't been great up to that point, but you thought that's going to settle them down. They're going to kick on. But it didn't really happen. And soon Manchester United sort of got back into the rhythm again that they started with. And I think that was really disappointing from Arsenal's point of view. But having said that, they didn't really cause Arsenal problems. William Saliba was absolutely fantastic. And I'll get to my player ratings in a little bit. William Saliba, just an unbelievable performance. And when you look at Arsenal's best performers on the night, it was the defenders, 100%. I thought Ben White struggled a little bit. I thought Garnacho caused him a lot of problems. I do like Garnacho. I think he's a really talented player. And he caused Ben White a few problems when he ran at him. But other than that, I thought Tomiyasu was solid on the other side. And then Gabriel and Saliba especially were just absolutely fantastic. David Raya was brilliant as well. Everything he did, he was called into action to do. He did it so well, and so much authority. Handling's impeccable. You know, no mistakes passing out from the back, and it was just a really solid performance. And that gave Arsenal the sort of base, as it has been all season, really to go on and win this game. It was an amazing stat they brought up on commentary in the second half. I think it was away from London this season in the league, or since the turn of the year, sorry, away from London, Arsenal conceded 1 goal. And that was that goal at Nottingham Forest in the 2-1 win, which is unbelievable. You think the other goals they conceded away from home, obviously Spurs, they conceded a couple, but away outside of London, they conceded 1 goal. And that shows, shows how good they are, shows how strong they are. And Saliba was just absolutely sensational, as he was at the Etihad. I mean, looking at here, I've got his stats up. His touches 98. That's first. That's more than any other player on the pitch for Arsenal. Tackles 4, again ranks first. Interceptions 3, again ranks first. Clearances 5, again ranks first. Duels 1, 7 out of 7, again ranks first. That tackle on Garnacho in the second half, and Garnacho got a bit of space, started running into the penalty area, and William Saliba just let him run, and then just picked his pocket with a perfectly timed tackle. It reminded me of Bobby Moore, that famous tackle in the 1970 World Cup against Brazil. Just absolutely fantastic. What a defender he is. If only he was fit for the title running last season. I know I don't want to harp back to that, but I kept thinking it as I was watching him play today. I mean, going forward, Arsenal had some decent chances to go and extend the lead. Martinelli came on, caused some problems. Anana made a good save from him. There was a save from Declan Rice as well. But I don't know, Arsenal I think they were just sort of limited in terms of how they were playing. I thought probably because of what was at stake. I don't know. But you never felt like they were really determined to go on and get that second goal. It was just like, right, we've got the goal. We're going to protect that. We're confident we can protect that. And we're going to take it to the final day of the season. And they did just that. I haven't heard yet what Mikel Arteta is going to had to say after the game. I'll go out and watch his interview in a minute. And I'm going to do a much more in-depth reaction to today's game, obviously in tomorrow's video. And you want to get involved in that, you want to have your say in that video, then get down into the comments below. Let me know your opinions on the match, who impressed you, who didn't impress you. And I'll pull some of them together as always and get them included in the show. And we'll also look at what Mikel has had to say. He looked delighted out on the pitch. And why shouldn't he? Arsenal have now won, what number is it? 28, is it, games this season? 27 league games Arsenal have now won this season. That's more than they've ever achieved in a Premier League season before. They're on 86 points, I think it is now. That's more points than last season. They've taken it to the last game of the season against this machine that is Manchester City, the best team in the world at the moment, without a shadow of a doubt. Whatever happens from here, it's been a hell of a ride this season, but whatever happens from here, there's so much to like about this season. 18 clean sheets in 37 Premier League games. There's just so much to like. This team is going places. It's a hell of a team, and if they don't win it, and hopefully they do, but if they don't win it, then it's been one hell of a season, and they've taken another giant step forward in their progress. Well, let's go through some player ratings now, shall we? As I said earlier, the sort of defenders are certainly going to mark higher than the forwards in this one. David Raya I thought was great. Everything he had to do. Again, it's kind of similar to that last 25 minutes against Spurs after he'd made that mistake. But this time there was no mistake, obviously. But every cross that came into the penalty area in that last 20 minutes, you just felt so confident he was going to come out, claim it, drop down on the ball, waste some time. Just what you want from the goalkeeper. His handling was perfect. When it started tipping it down, players were slipping all over the place, but he looked really, really assured. Good performance from David Raya, giving him an 8 out of 10. Ben White, thought he definitely struggled. He gave a good go against Garnacho. It was a good battle. Sometimes Ben White won that battle. Other times Garnacho won it. But yeah, I thought he was definitely given some problems by Garnacho and Anthony, actually, when he came on in the second half. So Ben White gets a 6. Saliba, my man of the match, 9 out of 10. Brilliant performance from William Saliba. Superb. What a player. Not much more I can say about him that hasn't been said already. Just brilliant. Gabriel next to him, 8 out of 10. Another really solid performance from him. Over on the left, Tomiyasu, I thought played well as well, shaking off that injury sort of fear that he had going into the game. So he gets a 7 out of 10. Midfield, Thomas Partey, I thought really, really struggled. He made some really big sort of glaring errors. I thought at times, Partey, I thought he was a mistake waiting to happen at times. But I also thought on the occasion where he did get his head up, he did show a bit of calmness. He picked some really nice passes as well. But I have to admit, I thought I was crying out for Jorginho at times to come on in that second half. I think Thomas Partey's been really, really good since he's come back into the team. But for whatever reason, I just thought he struggled today. He didn't look on it at all. Thought it was a struggle for Thomas. So I give him a 5 out of 10. Martin Odegaard never really got into the game for me. Couple of nice touches, little flicks around the corner to play players in, but the usual Odegaard I just didn't think was there. I didn't think the pressing was there that we've seen from him at times as well. Just seemed a little bit off par. Martin Odegaard gave him a 6. Declan Rice gave a 6 as well. Would have loved to have seen Declan Rice get forward a little bit more and drive forward and get into the penalty areas like we've seen from him this season. Did have one shot in the second half, which looked like it was heading towards the bottom corner, but Onana made a decent save, pushed it round the post. But would have liked to have seen a little bit more drive from Odegaard and Declan Rice in those two number 8 roles. So Declan Rice gets a 6 as well. Bukayo Saka, I thought Saka was poor, to be honest. Just never really got into the game. He limped off in the second half. We'll wait and see what happened from that. Looked like he took a nasty tumble down the sort of slope into the advertising hoardings. Whether that's how he hurt himself or it was in the challenge himself, we'll wait and see. But he was replaced by Gabriel Jesus in the second half. Disappointing from Saka. Didn't think he did much at all. So I give him a 5 out of 10. Over on the other side, Trossard, classic Trossard game, really. He was sort of in and out of it, but the big moment when you needed someone to step up, you needed someone to make the run, get in front of the defender, score the goal. There he was, doing it again, as he has done over the last couple of months, all season really, but certainly over the last couple of months when the pressure really has increased. Big game player, big moment player, and he stepped up and delivered again. Fair play, Leandro Trossard. Give him a 6 out of 10. Kai Havertz worked his socks off as always. Passing wasn't great at times, though. Kai delivered the big moment, though, setting up the assist. Really clever play, spotting that Casemiro is playing him on side, making sure he can find himself in space. Lovely drive into the penalty area, ball across for Trossard to score. Give Havertz a 6 as well. Martinelli and Jesus came on right at the end. Jorginho and Kivior came on as well. I thought Martinelli was bright at times, very, very close to making it 2-0 with that really nice run and finish, which Onana did well to tip over. Jesus, couple of nice little touches from him. But yeah, nothing to really impact the game and get that second goal. But look, the celebrations at the end told their own story. That's what Arsenal needed. They needed to get the win. They've got the win, and it goes to the final day next Sunday at the Emirates. Arsenal versus Everton, with a chance of winning the Premier League title for the first time in 20 years. I'm not sure this heart of mine is going to be able to deal with it, but we go again. Right, that's it from me, everyone. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Like I said, you want to get involved in tomorrow's show, do get into the comments. Give me your thoughts on the game, of what you saw, what you liked, what you didn't like, and I'll pull some of them together and get them included in tomorrow's show. Till then, have a fantastic Sunday evening, everyone. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.